by saying that he's the man.
No, like a conservative. Is that what you said? He's like a conservative Republican.
Yeah, he's a Republican. I mean, I voted for Joe Biden in
Name one
2020.
Republican attribute that he holds.
He doesn't like trans people,
If the
and he
Republican
doesn't.
Party, if the, I gotta say, if the Republican Party is all about hating trans people, what a party, man! Y'all are
And he
losing the
is
midterms.
he's also
If
fighting the
that's
gay
all the
triarchy.
Republican Party stands for, that's
He's
crazy.
also fighting the gay triarchy. So there's
If
that.
hating on the LGBTQ community is the only thing the Republican has left, I don't think you're much of a party anymore, bud.
Really? Because if I go on the Democrat page right now on TikTok, I'm pretty sure it's only talking about Trump. There isn't a single policy that they talk about. It's
There's many
I'm
policies, so there's
pretty
difference
sure
from.
there's a
I
trend right
didn't
now
ask
going
you.
on that they
I
call it
didn't.
the Trump fan page.
Listen, I
I'm
didn't
pretty
ask
sure.
you about like what Republicans post on social media. I asked you name me one Republican attribute that Donald Trump upholds. You said hating trans people and hating gay people.
It was a joke, bro. It was a
Okay,
troll.
so
It was
name
a
me one
troll.
Republican attribute that Donald Trump upholds.
He's just the man. He says it how it is, and I don't think Democrats do that
That's not a
anymore. I
Republican
don't.
attribute.
Yeah, it is. It
It's
is. In
not.
today's day and age, I mean, you have people who don't support mass deportation. He supports
Okay,
it.
why do you support mass
That's
deportation?
a Republican thing. What do you mean? Why do I support it? I have family members that came here the right way, and I don't think it's right for people to get skipped over in line, and that's not
They
right.
don't get skipped
I
over
don't
because they skip
support.
the individuals that come in
No,
here
they do get
undocumented. Skip
skipped over.
the
They do
individuals
get
that come in
skipped
here
over.
undocumented skip the line altogether, meaning they don't make them wait
Yeah,
any longer. So that's not unfair. So why do you support mass
it's not
deportation?
fair. It's not fair. Why do
Why
I
do you support
support
mass
mass
deportation? Yeah.
deportation? Yeah, I mean, if you bring in like 10,000 Bangladesh Indians to like Florida and you
Why are
bring
we
them into
talking about like
what do you mean? That's
specific
why. Because if
nationalities?
you
Like
bring
why
in a
do you
huge
bring up? Are
amount,
you white? I have a question. Are you white?
no, I'm not white.
Are you white presenting?
No, I'm not white presenting.
What race are you?
So I'm Hispanic. I'm as brown as you.
Okay, so you're out. Okay, cool. Hispanic is an ethnicity. I just want to point that out there. But first off, second off, um, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. Okay,
We were
continue with
talking
what you
about
were saying about
immigration.
bringing specific nationalities into the country. Like, why are you against mass
Yeah, if you
deportation?
bring it, because if you bring in a certain amount of third worlders, well, I don't even want to say that because that's going off
Can
topic.
you
But
define third world?
yeah, like Somalia,
Okay,
South
give me
Sudan.
examples. Examples are not
Yeah,
definitions.
underdeveloped compared to major
No, the
cities, or
original
not major
definition of third
cities,
world
major
is
countries.
people who don't align with the West. That's the definition of third world.
Wow.
The
Okay,
origin
I didn't
definition,
know
not
that.
underdeveloped.
I didn't know that. That's
It stems
crazy.
from the Cold War between the Soviet Union and the United States of America. First off.
So
Second off, why are you
by that
against
definition, Russians are third worlders.
it
By
stemmed
that
between the
definite,
Cold War? Yeah, man. Anyone who was
that's
against the
crazy.
West during the Cold War.
That's crazy. I didn't know that. Thank you. I didn't know that. That's actually very knowledgeable.
So
Um,
why do you not like undocumented immigrants?
yeah, because it's not fair. You have other people waiting in line for
I
years,
misworded
and they
that.
could
And
just
okay.
come here. That's not really. What did you say?
I misworded that. I said why don't you like? I meant to say why do you like mass deportation?
Why do I like mass deport? Well, I'll
Yeah.
say this: I don't like. I don't think that we should like setting out people if they've been here for like a decade and they've shown that they can pay taxes and not commit crimes. Do I think they need to be deported? Not really, because they've obviously shown that they can assimilate and actually bring goodness to this country. I just think they should just get like a really fat fine, like a lot of money fine to them. But other
So
than
you're
that,
not
I
for
think
mass deportation? I'm confused.
I'm on mass deportation for criminals and people that won't assimilate. But if you're assimilating, then you're cool.
Okay,
Like if
but
you
you
come
want
here
mass
and you
deportation
don't
for
want to
criminals,
like,
but you voted for a criminal, right?
well, he's not really a criminal.
Yeah, he's a felon. Yeah.
I mean, he's a felon, but people don't really care. No one cared.
Okay, just because no
It's
one
just a
cares
mute
about undocumented
talking
immigrants.
point.
Okay, all right, no one cares about undocumented immigrants committing
But
crimes.
that's
That's
not
just a
true.
talking
But
point.
that's not true. But that's not
Well,
true.
what you said isn't true either. Millions of
But
Americans care
listen,
that he's a felon.
so many people care about illegal immigration and mass deportation that they voted for a felon. 80 million Americans voted for a felon because they care that much.
They didn't vote for a felon for
Almost
that reason.
80 million.
It's because of that.
Almost
It's because of that
million Americans
propaganda
voted
spread.
for him
It's
because
because of,
that's how much they care about mass deportation.
it's because of the propaganda spread during the 2024 election campaign, and the fact that like
What
it was
propaganda?
America's racist propaganda, like saying, "I'll end all wars, no new wars. I'll never start a war. We'll get rid of the warmongers. I'll end the Russia-Ukraine war on day one. Israel and Palestine will be solved on day one. I'll reduce inflation so fast it'll make your head spin. Gas prices, they were the lowest they've been. I'll reduce your taxes. I'll end Social Security."
Is there more? I'm enjoying the Trump impersonation. Is there more?
I'll release the Epstein files. That's a big one. Yeah,
I'm
so that
surprised you didn't start
propaganda,
off with that. You should have
that's
started off with
propaganda,
that. Nah, I don't
that's
really think that's
propaganda.
propaganda. Nah,
Well,
I
it's
don't think that's
lies and
propaganda.
propaganda. Also
I don't
propaganda
think
like,
that's
oh, the
anything different from
undocumented,
what
they're
Kamala
violent
did.
criminals coming from
What?
Somalia.
How
They're
is that
eating the
any
pets and
different from
dogs.
like what
They're eating
Kamala
the
or any other
cats. They're
politician
eating the
ever
dogs. They're
does?
eating the pets. The immigrants, they're
Bro,
eating
it's
the
called an
pets.
election.
That's
It's
propaganda,
called
saying
an
undocumented
election.
immigrants are eating the pets. Saying that undocumented immigrants are the poison of the
No, I
blood of
mean
this country. That's propaganda. Saying that all trans people are
they
pedophiles
are.
who shouldn't own firearms. That's
They are.
propaganda. All undocumented
I
immigrants are
mean,
eating cats and
would you
dogs.
want a trans person watching your kid? Not all of them.
I would prefer a trans
Let's
person
go.
watching my kid than a rapist, Donald Trump. Absolutely. Wouldn't you? Would you rather have a trans person or a rapist watch your kid? Which one?
They're both actually. Say that again. Would I rather what? A
Watch
trans person or a
a
rapist? You
trans
said.
individual watch your kid or a rapist? Which one?
Well, you know,
This should be
Trump's not
like
a
this should
rapist.
be common sense. It's just it isn't about Trump. I don't know why your mind went through there. If you think Trump's a
He's
rapist,
not a
that's on you.
rapist, though.
I never said he was. I never made that claim. I said, would you
Because
rather
that's who you
have
just
a
said. You
trans
just said a
individual?
rapist.
Would you rather
No,
have a trans
you're talking
individual
about
watch your
Trump.
kid or a rape?
You got
No, I'm
Trump
not.
on the screen,
It's a
bro.
hypothetical question. So would you rather have a trans
It's
individual
not a
watching
hypothetical.
your
It's a
kids
dumb
or a
question, bro.
rapist
It's a
watch your
dumb
kids? Which
question.
one? Which one? You have 10
Obviously,
seconds to answer.
anybody. Obviously, dude, that's not even a question.
So
Like, come
you'd
on,
rather have a
bro.
trans? So you'd
Are you
rather have a
dumb?
trans individual watch your child than Donald Trump?
Yeah, not all trans people are rapists.
You
Like, what?
unironically admitted Trump's a rapist.
What do you mean?
Well, I asked you the question.
Dude,
You'd rather
you
have a
have to
trans
be an
individual
idiot.
watching your kid
Listen,
than Donald Trump? You
hold
said
on.
yes.
Let me,
You
yeah.
unironically admitted
No,
Trump's
I
a rapist. You
didn't.
wouldn't let your child around. Yes,
Oh
you
my
did. You want me to
God.
play it
He's
back?
not a
You want
rapist,
me to play
though.
it
But he's
back?
not, you can, sure, go ahead. I don't care.
Can you admit you said
Trump
that
is
though?
not a rapist, though.
Yes, he is. He's
Trump's
held
not a
liable for the
rapist.
forceful penetration of Eugene Carroll's vagina with his
That's
fingers.
SA, brother. That's SA. That's not grape.
That's no. The jury deemed it to be
And that's in
sexual abuse, but
civil
we can, hold on,
court.
hold on,
That's
hold
in
on,
civil
hold on, hold on.
court, bruh.
The jury determined it to be sexual abuse, but we know colloquially that's rape. Forcefully penetrating someone's
All right.
someone's vagina with
Yeah.
your
All
fingers,
right,
that's rape.
brother.
Yes,
All right.
is that rape?
No. What
Okay,
was
what's
he
your
found
definition of
guilty
rape?
of? SA.
What was your
He was
definition
found
of rape?
guilty of. What was he found guilty of?
Forcefully penetrating Eugene Carroll's vagina with his fingers.
And
Also,
what is
saying it's
that?
rape and not
SA.
sexual abuse.
What was he
Saying it's not
found
rape.
guilty
Hold on.
of? Was he found
Forcefully
guilty of
penetrating
grape?
Eugene Carroll's
Was he
vagina
found
with
guilty
his
of
fingers.
grape?
Also,
You're
saying
just,
that
bro.
it
You're
wasn't.
just trying to play to
Also,
semantics.
saying it wasn't rape. You were literally the one doing it. Saying it wasn't rape and saying it was sexual abuse doesn't make
It's
it any
not.
better. He's still a sexual
What
abuser.
did they say
He
it
is a
was? What did
violent
they say it
sexual
was?
abuser.
What did they? Oh, so he's an SA or not a rapist? There's a
The
difference.
jury,
You just said it
no,
yourself.
the jury deemed it to be sexual abuse.
You
but
just said it yourself.
Colloquially,
You
it
just
is
said
known
he's
as
an
rape. Hold on.
SAer.
What is I was using your definition. Under your
Yeah,
definition, he would
bro.
still be a violent sexual abuser compared to a violent rapist. So I have a question. What is your
All right,
definition
it's
of rape?
whatever, bro.
What is your definition of rape?
Whatever.
What's your definition
I
of
don't
rape?
know. I don't know.
You don't know? Because you know your definition of rape would include the forceful penetration of a female member with fingers. You know your definition would include it. If you don't think that's rape, you should probably get your hard drive
No,
checked.
that's
I don't
not
know
what
what to
I
tell
would
you.
say. No.
So then what's your definition of rape?
Okay. Are you done playing to semantics
It's not
and
semantics.
talking
You said
about
it
this
wasn't
dumb
rape. I'm
shit?
asking you what
Like,
is
who
rape.
cares?
Okay,
Who
sure. Let's just
cares?
say I grant you it wasn't rape, it was sexual abuse. You support a violent
I'm
sexual
asking, and
abuser.
you
Why?
haven't answered me once. What did they find him guilty of? Was he found? Was he found guilty? Was he found guilty of
Is my
grape or
mic
essay?
muted? Is my mic muted? Hello?
Answer that.
Is my mic muted?
I didn't hear you. I didn't hear
Okay.
you.
He was found
Was
liable
he
of
found
forcefully
guilty of
penetrating
grape or
agent.
essay?
Am I still muted? What's up?
All
Because
right, you're not
maybe you
answering
can't
it,
hear me.
bro.
Maybe you're interrupting me because
Is
you
that
can't hear me.
essay?
Am I muted?
That's
I
SA.
think I'm muted.
Oh
Chad,
my
am I muted?
god. It was labeled as SA,
I'm probably
brother.
muted.
It was labeled
Sure,
as SA.
sure. So Donald Trump was found
I
liable
guess
for
you are. I mean, I
Donald
guess
Trump
so.
was found liable for sexual abuse, which was the forceful penetration of Eugene
Okay.
Carroll's vagina
Yeah.
with his fingers. But New York then later
But
changed the
yeah,
law.
exactly.
New York then later changed the law to include what Donald Trump did, and the judge then clarified that what Donald Trump did was rape. Colloquially, it
Okay.
is rape. So, and legally
All right,
now,
brother.
it is rape. Also,
It's not. That's not how it works. That's not how the court system works.
if you
That's
include
not
rape,
how the
if
court
you
system
include your
works.
definition, hold on,
That's not how the court system. If you go to
hold
jail,
on,
if you
hold
get
on, hold
charged with the
on, hold
crime,
on,
and
hold
then
on,
years
hold on,
later they
hold on.
change the law,
Pause,
they you
pause,
can't
pause,
get charged
pause,
again.
pause, pause, pause. They didn't change the law for him. They changed it after the fact, okay?
Yes. Okay.
He
It doesn't
still
matter,
has a
and you
sexual.
can't get
Hold
charged
on,
again.
hold
You
on. I
can't get
never said that.
charged
I
again.
never said. Pause. 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 Donald Trump was legally classified as a sexual abuser, but via
Okay, and but you're calling
the
him a
liable sexual
rapist.
abuse, because
Oh my
colloquially we
god.
understand that rape is included in
Colloquially,
that.
bro, I
And
don't
if your
care. I don't.
definition,
Okay, I don't
hold
care.
on,
I
hold
don't
on, hold on.
care. I
You don't
don't
care about
care,
rape,
bro. I
exactly.
don't
If
care.
your
I
definition of
don't
rape,
care about your
I'm
little
gonna have to mute you if you keep
colloquialism.
on
Like, I don't
interrupting me.
care about
I'm
that.
gonna have to mute
All
you
right,
if you
have a
keep
good
on
day, bro.
interrupting me.
This
You're
is,
gonna run away. You're gonna run away because you won't let me talk.
brother, this is crazy. I don't care about colloquial. You just said but. But that's the key word right there. But
Can I
everything
talk for
after that,
10
it
seconds?
doesn't
Listen,
matter. It doesn't matter.
I want 15 seconds, and I'll let you talk as long as you want.
Okay,
15
go ahead,
seconds.
sir. Go ahead.
If okay, cool. If your definition of rape is the forceful penetration of a male member to a female member, as it was per New York state law, then no enslaved individual in American history was raped, because that was raped, right? Because in instances, first off, it wasn't legally classified as rape. So you would argue, if you classify rape on the legality of it, you would argue no enslaved individual was raped, because legally they could not get raped. Therefore, no enslaved individual was raped. Go ahead and respond to that.
Yeah, you're just talking super fast, bro. That's all. Someone in the comments literally said Dean.
If you think rape is based on the law and you uphold only law standards, you think that no enslaved individual was raped because they were it
We're
was
not
not legally
talking about
classified as raped.
enslaved people. Oh my
As soon
god.
as I apply your logic to
Oh my
someone or
god.
something that isn't Trump, you say it's different. It is not different.
It is different. If someone goes
What's
to
the
court,
logical barrier?
yeah.
What's the
Can
logical
I
difference?
speak now, bro? I didn't interrupt you. Like, let's just get back to having a normal conversation. All right. If someone goes to court and they get, and I'm not saying I agree with the essay. I'm not saying I agree with that, but there is a huge difference to say someone is a rapist than to say it's essay. That there's a huge difference. That's why you won't say it. That's why I asked you before. What was he charged with? You kept dancing around it. Like, you can sit here and say like what happened back then with slaves and all this stuff and the definition, that's fine, but we're not living in that time. We're living where we have courts and things like that. If someone goes to a court and they get found guilty and they get charged with, let's say, robbery, and then 2 years later they change the law to where in that situation, and I'm not saying that they changed the law specifically for him, but let's just say they changed the law, and now that situation where he robbed someone, now under the new law it would have been robbery with a weapon or something like that. That's not how it works. You can't now go to that guy's rap sheet and be like, yeah, he did robbery with a weapon. That's not how it works.
Okay, I'll address what you said. I have a question. If um if you saw someone rape someone else, but they never got held accountable, are they a rapist?
Well, it depends, because of what you just said before, what happened with Eugene Carroll, that's not grape.
No, okay. Let me give you. If
She
you
got
saw a
SA,
man,
bro.
if you saw a man
And I would
rape someone, hold
argue,
on. I let you speak. If you saw a man rape someone via your definition of rape, right, which I would assume would include the forceful penetration of a male member into a female member. So if you saw a man raping a woman under your
You keep
definition
saying that. I've
and they
never
did
even
not
gave you
get
my
caught and they did
definition
not
of
get
rape,
held
bro.
accountable, are they a rapist?
No. I don't know what you're referring to, bro.
You said
Like, if I
no?
saw someone grape someone, like,
If yes, if you
if
saw
I don't
someone
even understand what your question
if you
is.
saw someone rape someone else, but they never got held accountable,
Yeah.
are they a rapist? And can you call them a rapist? Yes or no?
Yeah. If I see someone grape someone, I would, yeah, obviously, yeah.
Okay, so
They're still a rapist,
you
even
don't
if
need court decisions
I know
to
what
de-
like,
so you don't need court decisions to determine
but
what
that's
is
because
rape
I
and what is not
saw it.
rape.
But that's because I saw it.
But hold
That's
on,
because
just
I saw
that's
it,
not the point.
though.
We'll go into the
I
after.
wouldn't believe, but I wouldn't believe some random person. Like, I wouldn't believe somebody just because they said, like, like Emmett Till. That's how Emmett Till got unalived. Like, that's not how you should go about things.
Okay.
I only believe it because I saw it
Okay,
and I
but to be
witnessed it
clear, but what I'm
myself.
trying to prove is you don't need a court case to determine if someone's a rapist or not,
You
right?
do. Yeah, you do.
Okay, so then you couldn't if you
You
saw
do.
someone get raped, if you saw someone rape someone and they weren't determined by a court to be a
How
rapist, you
often is
wouldn't
that
call them a
happening?
rapist?
How often? Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a
98% of
question.
the
Within that,
time.
yeah,
98% of the
yes, you
time.
would.
According to
Yes, you
rain.org,
would. But
according
yes.
to
Oh
yeah,
my
hey,
God.
guess what? You cooked yourself because that happens more often than not.
If you have to
98%
get
shut
your
up. Shut up.
information,
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
98%
Shut up.
what?
Shut up. Shut up. 98% of
You're
men
getting
are
your
not held
information.
accountable in their court of law according to rain.org.
Bruh.
Around 90 to 98% of men are not held responsible in a court of law for the actions that they commit against other people, i.e., rape or sexual abuse. 90 to 98% of the time. So when you're saying how often does this happen? A lot. It happens very often. Men are not held accountable to their crimes that they commit. That was a stupid
So
question.
hold on. You said it was 90. You said it was 90%,
90 to 98. It's according to
right?
rain.org.
Okay. So then why when the court system gets a grape case with a man, why don't they just 90 to 98% of the time just charge them as guilty?
No, 90 to 98% of the
If you
time.
don't need court
You
documents, hold on.
misunderstood
If you
me.
don't
You
need court
misunderstood me.
documents, why?
I said
You just
90.
said you don't need proof.
I said 90 to 98% of
But what did
men.
you say before that?
I said
But
90.
before that,
Hold on. I said
before that,
90.
you
I said
argued,
90.
why do we need
I
court
said
documents?
90 to
You
98% of
argued,
men
why
are
do
not
we
held
need court
accountable.
documents?
Dude,
And
dude,
then before
dude,
that,
dude, dude, dude.
before that,
Can you shut up for 10 seconds?
yeah, your mods have been muting me, bro.
I'm muting you. Myself.
It
Me.
says
I'm muting you
moderator.
because you're
No,
interrupting me. Yeah.
no,
I'm
it's
the
not. It would
I'm the
say, bro,
moderator.
oh my good lord.
That says moderator because I'm the moderator. Shocker. Lock in. As I was saying,
Lock it, bro. I don't know. You have two phones. What the fuck?
that's great. That's great. Lock in.
How the fuck am I
As I was
supposed to know
saying,
that?
I don't know. Read my mind. 90 to 98% of men are not held accountable. That was a claim that I
Moron.
made. Because I made the claim, what if you see someone rape someone and then they don't get held accountable for the crime? Can you call them a rapist? You said, how often does that happen? Often, because most men are
Well,
not
that's
held
not what I
accountable for the rape they
meant. That's
commit.
not, you didn't even let me finish. Let me finish what I said. How often are you seeing someone get raped? That's what I was trying to say
Okay.
before you cut
So
me
that's
off.
not, that's not, I didn't cut you off.
And
You
just to
literally
land,
said,
how often are you seeing someone get raped to where you go to a courthouse and you're like, you know what? This person's being charged with rape. I don't need to see any evidence. I don't want to see any
okay,
evidence.
you also
It's not how it
misunderstood my
works.
hypothetical question. The hypothetical question that I asked you was if you saw someone being raped, but they never went to court, they never got held accountable, they never went to a judge, they never went to a jury, they never were legally classified as a rapist or put on a sex offenders list, can you still call them a rapist? Yes or no?
Yes, because I saw it,
So
but I
then,
wouldn't.
okay. So then
Hold
you,
on, but let me
to be
just
clear, I
answer it.
just need a yes or no.
I
I just
saw it.
needed a yes
Yes,
or no because you've been yapping. So
no,
just to be
I'm not
clear,
answering your
just to be
question.
clear,
I
you
am
said
not
yes.
answering it. No, withdraw. I withdraw.
Okay, go ahead, answer. Yeah, bro, go ahead.
Jesus. If I see someone get graped, I saw them get graped. So yes, obviously I know that whoever did it is a rapist. But if I did not see it happen, then I don't know. You cannot just. Does that not make sense to you?
That makes great sense. So, first off, second off, my point that I was trying to prove is you don't need court documents to determine whether or not someone's a rapist. Yes.
You do. On the majority level, yes, you do.
Okay,
Just
not all the
because
time, right?
99% of the yes, you do. How are you not going to
Hold on.
prove someone's guilt if you don't have court documents? How are you going to prove someone's?
It's a yes or no.
How are you going to prove it happened?
Listen, 100% of the time, do you need court documents in order to call someone a rapist? Yes or no? 100% of the time, yes or no?
Listen. What was your question again? Say it again.
100% of the time, do you need court documents or a determination of a jury to call someone a rapist? Yes or no?
Hello.
I
Are you able
asked
to
you
hear
a
me?
question. Yeah, I'm able to hear you. Can you answer the question?
Yeah. Can you ask the question again? Can you ask it
If
again? I told you
do
my
you
connection's
need
about to get shitty.
sure do you need a court document 100% of the time to call someone a rapist? Yes or no?
Yeah, I would say you need evidence. Yeah, I don't think you could just call someone a rapist without evidence.
Okay. Uh okay, so can you call can you like rape victims? Can they classify themselves as rape victims without court documents? Yes or no?
I mean, I can't say what someone has been through, but you can say that you're a grape victim without. But if you're going to sit there and be like, I'm a grape victim and this person raped me, then yeah, you would need proof. You can't
Okay,
just call
cool.
someone a
So,
rapist.
so, so you said 100% of the
Would
time you
you
need court
agree?
documents to call a
Would you
rapist a
agree?
rapist. I wouldn't agree.
Would you
No,
agree?
no. I think that
Okay.
I think that in instances there are evidence that is presented, but in most instances, it's going to be the fact that women or men in general don't come. Women and men in general don't come out whenever they get raped. So, if you're saying if someone got raped, they wouldn't be able to call the rapist a rapist until it's been determined by a jury. Just want to clarify. That's what you said.
Yeah, I mean, I think that
That's
obviously
crazy.
you can call them whatever you want, but socially, for them to walk around socially being called a rapist and it hasn't even been proved in court, that's
Well,
disgusting.
guess what?
That is not the
Th-
way.
That
That's
doesn't
not the way
happen as much
society
as you
should be
that
ran.
doesn't happen as much as you think it does. Like
Okay,
I
well, that's
said,
what you're
90 to
arguing
98.
for. But that's what
But
you're
the thing is,
arguing
Donald Trump
for.
was held liable for sexual abuse,
Okay.
and you support a sexual abuser, a violent sexual abuser.
Okay. What about Emmett Till? What about Emmett Till?
That's great. Can we talk about Trump?
He got a
Wonderful. The great
being a
Trump.
rapist,
Trump.
and that was not true.
Trump.
So by your
Hey,
standards,
hey,
that's
hey!
how we
Focus,
should be going
focus,
about.
focus,
Yeah,
focus. Trump.
we are
You support a
focusing. We
violent
are
sexual
focused.
abuser. You support a violent
I'm
sexual
just trying
abuser.
to understand where you're
Great, great,
coming.
great, 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 great. You support a
Sure,
violent sexual abuser.
sure. So do almost 80 million Americans. Yes, I did.
Well,
I voted for
most
an
people don't
essayer.
know. Most people don't know that he was violent.
Most
Not
people
most.
know, bro.
A lot of people
Most
don't know
people
that he was a
know.
violent sexual abuser.
Most people know, and most people don't care. That's
Actually,
why he
they
got
do
80
care. That's why
million
he has
votes,
the
bro.
lowest approval rating in his
Really?
entire term. Yes,
Really? That's why he got 80 million votes. That's why he got 80 million votes and won the popular. Really?
that's why he lost the popular in 2016 and 2020.
Really? Really? That's fine. That's fine. That's
Get lost.
fine.
He
That's why
literally
he
is a
won the
DEI
popular.
hire, by the way. He's a DEI
This
hire.
this
He didn't earn the
felon,
votes. He
this
didn't earn the votes
felon,
in
this
2016, but he still
felon
won.
rapist,
You guys
the
are
felon
against
rapist.
you guys are against DEI, but Donald Trump is a DEI
The
hire
felon rapist got 80 million votes and won the popular.
because America is
Nobody
a
cares,
misogynistic,
bro.
racist country. That's why no one cares about
Yeah,
rape. Thank you
that's what
for
it
showing your true
is.
colors.
Yeah,
No one cares about
that's what
rape.
it is.
No one cares about rape. You just
That's what it
admitted. You
is.
just said the quiet thing out loud. No one
No
cares
one
about rape.
believes it, bro. If it was in like a criminal court, then yeah, but in a
Hey,
civil
sure.
court, no
You're
one
saying if
believes
it was
that
in a
shit,
criminal court,
bro.
you would believe it. Okay, what's the reasonable doubt? In a criminal court, it's beyond a reasonable doubt. You're saying that there is reasonable doubt. So what is the reasonable doubt in the case?
Slow down. Let's slow down with what you're saying, bro. Just say what you get. Say what you
You
just said again, but
said
slow
if it
down.
was in a criminal court case, you would believe it. A
Yes.
criminal court case is beyond a reasonable
Yeah.
doubt. Then you're making the claim that there is reasonable doubt. So what is the reasonable doubt to the court case that leads you to
I
believe
just
it
think
wouldn't be a
she
criminal
in the
court
civil
case?
court case. I just think she was money hungry.
She was already
Honestly,
a
I
millionaire.
don't.
That's not reasonable doubt. Try
Yeah,
again.
but you can always be richer.
That's not
You can always
reasonable
be
doubt.
richer.
That's not
It is
you
reasonable. What do you mean?
okay, every
A
single rape
billionaire? A
victim,
billionaire?
every single rape victim that got money from the rapist did not get raped, and that's reasonable doubt under your worldview. Now that's literally insane. So try
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, look at Michael Jackson. I mean, in 1993, he paid like $20 million because he supposedly raped a kid.
So there
So,
are
do I
people who
believe
believe
that?
that Michael Jackson did
Yeah,
bad
but
things, and there are
take a
people who
look
don't.
at it. I
I
mean,
think that there is evidence within the
take a
case.
look at
I understand why people could believe that, and I understand why people don't believe that. But there's a difference between Michael Jackson and Donald Trump. The difference is
is what
Donald Trump is the one who
one made
started
Billie
this case.
Jean.
The difference is Donald Trump started this case by defaming her. He defamed her. Guess what? E. Jean Carroll also accused another CEO. He didn't say anything. He didn't call her a liar. Therefore, she didn't sue him. She sued him because he defamed her by calling her a liar. Trump's own fault. By the way, and if he didn't want to pay her millions of dollars, A, he shouldn't have defamed her. B, why didn't he give his DNA? If he presented his DNA and he was innocent, it would have proved his innocence. But instead, he refused to
I
give
would
the
have never
DNA
gave my DNA. I would have never
because
gave
you
my
probably
DNA.
are a rapist.
No, why would I, as a billionaire, why would I give my DNA when I
Because then
don't
you would
have
have to.
to?
Oh, because then
When
you would
I
have to owe
don't
millions
have
of
to.
dollars, and you would have that on your record if the evidence is
But
leaning towards the fact that you raped
when I
someone
don't have to give you my DNA, when I don't have to give you my DNA,
to
why
prove
should
your
I?
innocence.
If
I
I
would
don't
give my
have
DNA.
to,
I would give my
but I
DNA
don't have
if
to.
someone is yeah, you don't have to, but
That's
if
fine.
any reasonable person, if they're being accused of rape, to clear their name, they would give up their DNA.
Okay,
If
so
you're
you
being
don't
accused of rape,
Constitution.
would you give up your DNA
You
to
don't
prove
even
your
believe in the
innocence?
Constitution. You don't
That's
even believe in
funny.
the Constitution.
Funny.
I would let me to answer your question. If I was being accused of rape, what would I do? I would do what my lawyers tell me to do, not what somebody thinks I should do.
What?
So I'm gonna
You're
trust the
doing what
people that I.
somebody thinks you
I'm
should
gonna
do, which is
trust
your
the people.
lawyers.
I'm gonna,
What?
yeah, I'm gonna trust my lawyers, the people
That's a
that I'm paying to
contradiction.
make sure I get home. It's not really. What do you mean? I'm gonna
You
trust
said
my
I would
lawyers
do
that
what my lawyers
then
say, but
make.
also I wouldn't do what other people want me to do. But your
Yeah, I
lawyers
wouldn't
are
do what other
people who
people
want
want
to.
me to do that I'm not paying. What
Are
don't you
your lawyers not
understand?
people?
They are people that I'm paying to protect me. What don't you understand?
Okay, so why don't you just pay like the random person on the street? Then you would pay them. Bam.
Because they're not going to protect me. They're going to say you should give your DNA to make it.
Yeah,
You're
hey
an
man,
innocent person.
if
You
you're
should give your
innocent, yeah,
DNA. You should give your
if
DNA.
you're
You're a
innocent,
billionaire. You should give your DNA. You don't have to, but you should give it.
if you're innocent and you're being accused of rape, you should give your DNA to prove your innocence. Absolutely. Yes.
I get it.
Because
Yeah,
guess what?
I
Once you
agree,
give your
but you
DNA,
don't
that would
have
prove
to.
that you're innocent and didn't rape that person.
I agree.
Wow.
I agree,
You
but
agree that's
you
any
don't
reasonable
have to.
person would do that?
No, I don't agree with that. I agree that I would have done that, but
Okay, so you would have done that.
actually, well,
I would have done that.
if
Type
my
in one in the
lawyers
chat if
told me
you would have
not
done
to,
that.
probably not
Any
then.
reasonable person would give up their DNA to prove their innocence that they raped someone. Absolutely. Trump is not reasonable.
I think more so any reason
You got a violation.